So Psyonix changed the PCC crate, and we're also going to talk about my personal theory of the next update coming out based on some of the leaked stuff we talked about before. Alright guys, so welcome back to another Rocket League video, and in this one we're going to have some fun with a little bit of news, nothing too huge with the PCC crate, and then we're going to jump into some theory stuff that I personally think is pretty cool, because there's definitely a connection between some of the items dropping some of the leaked crates, and it could point towards possibly the next theme of the next update. So yeah guys, I love these type of videos, and if you do as well, be sure to hit that like button down below, and without further ado, let's jump into it here. Alright guys, so starting off first with the PCC crate, you might have noticed this already. It was kind of updated just completely under the radar, and some people were super surprised because there are now Dracos in the player's choice crate. So no, this is not a glitch. This is an official change in the game. Psyonix Devin talked about it, and I mean, you can see this for yourself. Just go into your inventory, check your player's choice crates, and they're going to already be updated. So in fact, let's do that right away if you haven't seen what's inside of them, and also let's kind of talk about why they decided to change it. But yeah, just jumping onto my Xbox account, I have a few player's choice crates on this one. I never liked the player's choice crate. I thought it was kind of a waste. But as for this one, they updated the rare decals. I don't really care about the ones that were in the previous crate, so I can't even say how much different these are. But these are ones that were in previous crates. I especially remember getting tons and tons of this one. But then for the very rares, it starts to get a little bit more interesting. No distortion, but instead Dominus Snakeskin, Octane MG88, and then Septums and Hex Phase. So those are pretty interesting. They said that they thought these were like the most popular very rares. I don't know if I exactly agree with that. I mean, I don't even know if any very rares are super popular, but I mean, Hex Phase is solid. Septums are pretty solid as well. I actually like them quite a bit. But then it starts to get weird. You have Dominus GT, Breakout Type S, and Octane ZSR. So why wouldn't they include newer imports? I'll talk about that right after we go through the other things here. But then of course, Zombas are kept in it because of Titanium White Zombas. And then you also have Dracos, which are kind of like the new second best wheel. So that's definitely the biggest change. And then you also have mystery decals, and let me look at the list right here. The mystery decals that are in this one are Hexed, 20XX, Heatwave, and Spectre. Don't ask me why Spectre is in it. I have no freaking clue. But yeah, so nothing too insane there. And overall, it's just not really that great of a change. At least that's what I thought when I first looked at this, because a lot of the items you could just trade painted toppers for them if you really wanted to. You're mainly going for painted exotics or BMDs, so you really have like a 2% chance of getting something that's, you know, kind of special. Everything else you could get since, I mean, Dominus GT, that's been in here since the very beginning of crates. So yeah, why did they decide to change that? The answer to that question, again from Psyonix Devin directly, is that they changed it for the Switch version of the game. Since the Switch version does for sure have crates, but it of course doesn't have the C1 or C2 crates because those are retired, they decided to mix up the player's choice crate to include some items that were in those crates, which you can mainly see with the imports, but it also gives them a better way of getting some popular wheels like the Dracos as well. And also the black markets, can't forget those. But yeah, if you want to open these on Xbox, PS4, or PC, I mean, it's completely up to you, but again, it's not really that special. I mean, whenever I opened the previous player's choice crates, it was always kind of just disappointing getting like regular Zombas, a Dominus GT, stuff like that. Unless you're getting painted wheels or black markets, it's not worth it in my opinion. But hey, if you want to try getting some titanium white Zombas or titanium white Dracos, that's totally up to you. But anyways, let's jump into the theory time. Let's get into some conspiracy stuff and try to predict what is going to be in the next update, which is honestly, I think, just around the corner. I think we're going to get an announcement for it very soon. But yeah, this theory has to do mainly with one of the crates we talked about in the previous video, the one that is coming for the next update. If you take a look at a bunch of the stuff in the crate, and again the crate itself, you can see that there's actually a pattern with a bunch of the stuff for it. So before we jump into it, I want to give credit to the person that kind of got the idea kickstarted, but big shout out to One Gen Gabe for bringing this to my attention, because there is actually a ton of interesting stuff here. But basically there's 4 or 5 kind of pieces of evidence that point towards this crate maybe having to do with a Tokyo or Japanese themed update. Now I know that kind of seems odd because of course we already have Neo Tokyo, so why would they be bringing out a new update that again has to do with something kind of Chinese themed? That by itself I'm not exactly sure yet, but I'll talk about it more after we go through the items themselves. And also it's possible that this could just be the theme of the crate and it has absolutely nothing to do with the update. Either way, there's definitely some interesting stuff with the crate itself. So first of all, let's talk about one of the biggest pieces of evidence, and that is with the polygonal goal explosion. So again, here is the video of the explosion in action, again leaked from the bots. Credit to Dane Brown for this video. But take a look at the just center of the explosion itself, that kind of polygonal sphere, so to say, and how it explodes out in a bunch of triangles. If that looks familiar to you, it's because you've seen this exact thing before on the map Neo Tokyo. Like just going into Neo Tokyo here, spectating, if you take a look up at this building right here, on top of it you'll see a square ball, but when it switches over, you can see that it turns into that polygonal sphere, and then it explodes in the exact same way as the polygonal goal explosion. So yeah, obviously these are pretty much the exact same thing. So that by itself is just one little connection from the crate to Neo Tokyo, but that is just the tip of the iceberg here. Let's talk about another item that was leaked, and I'm kind of changing my mind on this one. I didn't think this was going to be in the brand new crate, but with this new proof that kind of came to light, I'm definitely leaning towards it being in this next crate. So the wheels that I'm talking about here are what people are calling the audio wheels. Now credit to this video goes to Omezo again. Big thanks to him for lending me this video. But yeah, just take a close look at the animation. I know it's a little bit blurry as the car is driving around, but just notice how it has these audio bars that go up and down. And also take note of the color as well, the pink and blue. But again, if we go back into Neo Tokyo and instead take a look at the blue side above the net, you can see that this part that wraps around the building has that same exact animation. Like just taking a look at it here, there is no doubt that it is exactly the same. And I'll also put up an image here of the wheels so you can compare them side to side. But I mean, there is no doubt, it is the exact same thing. Even the dots that make up the bars are exactly the same on both the wheels and this kind of animation on the building. I mean, not only that, but they're practically the same colors. Even the circles that are on top of the bars themselves are separate colors in both the wheels and on this building. So that again, maybe it's just Psyonix being lazy and kind of reusing animations, but once again, it's connecting one of these crate items to Neo Tokyo. Now you're probably starting to see the pattern here, but there's another item that has to do with Tokyo and Chinese, and also has this blue and pink theme to it, and that is the Twin Dragons goal explosion. We also talked about this in the previous video going over the crate leak, but once again, obviously this would fit in with the other items we've already talked about. It's the type of dragon that is kind of Japanese based, which obviously fits in perfect with Neo Tokyo. Just overall, it fits into the theme of it, and again, it's the same color as the crate itself, the blue and pink, and also the audio wheels. And also if you just look around the map itself, you can see that there's a ton of blue and pink around the map. So I know I said that there's a chance that the Twin Dragons could be in the Christmas crate, but with all of this proof together, I'm definitely changing my mind to thinking it's going to be in this update crate for sure. But again, that's three things that are connecting this to sort of a Tokyo themed crate. But there's also another thing I want to bring to light, and that is looking at the crate itself. So real quick, just bringing up the image here, and again, this is credit to FCon28 for finding this image in the files. But when you look at the side of it, you see this circle with sort of the lines through it. And when I saw this, I noticed that I've seen that kind of similar symbol before. And you guys probably know where this is going. If you go to Neo Tokyo, take a look at one of these buildings and find the Beckwith sign, you can see that there is a very similar circle with those lines going horizontally across it. Now, unlike the other ones, this one isn't exactly the same, but you can't deny that it is very similar. But yeah, guys, just putting all of this together, the polygonal goal explosion being on this map, the audio exotic wheels animation being on this map, the Twin Dragons fitting in perfectly with the colors and just Neo Tokyo itself, its culture, and then after that, the crate itself with its colors and also the kind of symbol on the side, again fitting into this map, there's no doubt that there is a connection between this crate and Neo Tokyo. Now, does that mean that the next update could be having something to do with Neo Tokyo, or maybe they're just going to be doing a completely different sort of Japanese, Chinese themed map? Like I could see one being in a dojo or something similar to this image on screen, a nice map out in the open, and maybe this is just the theme for the crate. Either way, there's no denying that there are some connections here, and that is just my theory. But anyways, guys, be sure to leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think about this, and of course, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button to be the first to hear about new Rocket League news as soon as it is announced. On top of that, be sure to check out my previous videos here, such as the one going through a bunch of the items that are going to be in the new crates, as well as another fun video on the left. But other than that, guys, again, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm TheLlamaSir, and I will see you guys next time.